The July 1st, 2014 public board meeting of the Greater Dayton RTA Board of Trustees is hereby called to order. Would you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Mann. Ms. Rose.
Here.
Mr. Hokie. Mr. Corrado.
Here.
Mr. Depp.
Here.
Ms. Kirsten.
Present.
Ms. Hurd. Oh, excuse me, Ms. Howard. Ms. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Simpson.
Here.
And Mr. Williams.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. The roll has been called, and we do have a quorum. Next, we have approval of the June 3rd board meeting minutes. The minutes of the June 3rd, 2014 board meeting were presented for review to all board members prior to today's meeting. Unless there's any board member who requests a reading of the minutes, I'll ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented. Okay. Having no request for a reading of the minutes nor any corrections or additions, the minutes stand approved as presented. Next on the agenda, we have recognition for the Culture Works campaign.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. I'm looking through the window to see if the person we were looking for has arrived. How about if we do Blue Star Moms first?
Okay.
Because Culture Works has not yet arrived. So I'm going to ask Allison if she would to come up front, and I will locate the mic. I don't see the mic. And we'll. Danny will find it. We've decided the last couple of years during Safety Day, and this year was Safety and Wellness Day combined, we try to do some event that raises both awareness and sometimes cash. And in the case of the current year, we had a number of people in-house who said, you know, we really wanted something done that related to the military because we've got such a big military presence here. So it was recommended that this year's recipient for our fundraiser on Safety Day be Blue Star Mothers, and I want to just turn it over to Allison at this point and describe what we did from there.
The last couple of years, what we've done is we have ordered a dunk tank. We have some of our directors are willing to participate to be dunked in the dunk tank, including Mark. Mark was a big hit this year too. And as Mark said, we like to donate those funds to a worthwhile cause, and we believe that Blue Star Mothers, was the choice this year. The Blue Star Mothers, they do a lot of work with the military. They send care packages to people overseas, that type of thing. They also work with veterans. I do want to introduce Sherry. She's the president of Blue Star Mothers, and I'd like for her to tell you a little bit about the things that our donations can help with, because I think you guys will be impressed with that, and I know they've told me a couple of times, but I want you to tell them.
First of all, I'd like to thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today and for the wonderful opportunity of being your designated charity. Our chapter of Blue Star Mothers is the largest in the nation. We pack and ship to deployed and overseas military almost every Saturday of the year. We have it down to a science. It costs approximately $10 to ship each box, and then we also need to purchase additional contents of the boxes beyond what's donated by the community. We go out to the Veterans Administration approximately once a month and put on a program out there to include entertainment, hot meal, prizes for them, gifts, and we've also started a program this year called Park is for Patriots. I'm sure being involved with the bus systems, you know how very bitterly cold it was this past winter and what the weather was like. We have embarked upon an effort to collect funds, purchase coats for our veterans at off-season prices, so that this fall we'll be able to gift needy veterans with a brand new coat. We've been able so far in off-season prices to negotiate wonderful coats such as Columbia brand coats, etc.,
introduce Thelma and Nancy. They were actually here on Safety Day and helped to pass out information and help us in the fun of collecting money for the Blue Star Mothers. And I also want to also recognize Michelle Garrett. She was actually instrumental in getting the Blue Star Mothers to Safety Day this year. She is one of our safety team members. And Melissa Moody is here to represent not only the safety teams, but also we have a little bit of a surprise for the Blue Star Mothers. Our internal organization within RTA called the Management Connect has also made a contribution in addition to the money that we raised on the safety day. So we would like to present you guys with a check today for $1,000.
I clean up pretty well, don't I?
What a good sport. And I'd also like to add, the perfect people were involved in this, such personable extroverts that just really had the crowd going. It was so much fun. It's one of the most fun fundraisers I've ever been part of. An awesome group you have going. So
Thank you guys for all you do. We wish we could do more, and really great to see our Management Connect group step up and say, we're going to make this even better. That was great for us to hear.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And the neck brace had nothing to do with safety day, right? Sure. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. I was born ready to I'm in my element. Come on up here. Our second presentation, we can do presentations today. This is fun. Our second presentation has to do with CultureWorks, and everybody knows Meredith, who's here.
Good to see you.
CultureWorks leadership. Tracy took care of our campaign. She was our lead this year, and her goal in life was to beat Frank Eckler. And she did. So we're very pleased to announce that we contributed a little bit more this year.
We did. We had a 6% increase this year. I think I was on the job about, what, 2-3 days, Frank, when you said, I would like you to do the CultureWorks campaign this year. And of course, not knowing any better, I said, sure. It went well for us. I had a fabulous team. I think I counted 20 people within the RTA family that were instrumental in helping me. And they were all wonderful. I got to know people in maintenance, operations, all across the agency. And so it was a wonderful learning experience. And I beat Frank, and that's all that matters. So we're happy to present this check today. Come on. To CultureWorks in the amount of $5,762.44, which is 6% more than Frank. All right. Okay, one more. Thank you.
Like to say a few words.
I would indeed. And first of all, we didn't think anybody could top Frank last year, but Tracy did it. And I just want to say, you know, we have workplace giving a lot of places around the community, and I speak for Dory Watts, who's a head of workplace giving and corporate giving for us, and everyone else. We especially love the RTA. You guys are just a lot of fun, and you really put your whole heart and souls into it, and it's one of our favorite campaigns, and you guys do a great job for us every year. And I will say Dory Watts, who works so hard, the campaign actually is over as of June 30th, and she took what is left of herself and her family to Florida this weekend for a much-deserved rest. So she would be standing here with me otherwise, but we do give you all a heartfelt thank you. I actually got to go out to the organizations today and announce their awards, and we had increases this year, which hasn't happened for a while. So we have some very happy campers in the arts community, and they know that well over 50% of the money that comes through the campaign for the arts to fund them comes through workplace giving. And this is critically important, and it really shows shows what kind of a come-together community this is. And I think we should all be proud to live here for everything we support, for the presentation I just witnessed, and for everything you do for all the worthy nonprofit causes. But CultureWorks is especially grateful to the RTA. Thank you all so much.
The next item on the agenda, committee reports, and we will begin with Sharon Harrison with the Finance and Personnel Committee.
Thank you. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on June 17th, and as a result, one action item is being recommended today by the Finance Personnel Committee. Action item number 2, Aptian EMF Software and Consulting Assistance. Aptian provides RTA's financial software as well as financial software consulting support. Currently, there's a need to have certain interfaces modified. Mr. Jerry Snyder provided a detailed explanation at our committee meeting, and the supporting information is included in your board package. Jerry is available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Based upon the recommendation of the Finance Personnel Committee, I move to award a contract to Aptian Incorporated in the total not to exceed of amount of $37,220 for the EMF software and consulting assistance. The award amount may vary based on actual time and materials used. The EMF software and consulting assistance will be funded with 80% federal funds.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded. We approve action item 2, the Aptian EMF software and consulting assistance. Are there any questions? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action item 2 has been approved. Do you have a report?
That concludes my action items, and I do have a report. Mr. Mark Reynolds of Brower Insurance provided a brief discussion on the state of insurance markets. He described some of the key differences in services RTA received in the past from travelers and what we are now receiving from One Beacon. RTA's third-party administrator is staying on top of claims, and staff is very involved in financial decisions that are made. Mr. Reynolds also distributed a claim sheet outlining policy years, reported damages, and subrogation collection rates. He reported a 75% collection rate, which is very good in the industry. Mr. Reynolds reported that there has been a slight uptick on industry premium rates. At the meeting, Ms. Stanford reported that sales tax is up 1.4% compared to last year. We are currently right in line with budget for the first 3 months of reporting. For financial statements, Ms. Stanford reported that passenger fares are back on track with budget. Non-operating revenues were up 3% above budget for the current month and year to date. Non-operating financial assistance is up nearly $400,000 year-to-date. Contract service costs are down, mainly due to lower legal fees. Materials and supplies are close to budget for the month of May. And that concludes my report, Madam Vice President.
Thank you. Now, Planning Committee, Janet Jones.
Thank you. The Finance and Personnel and Planning Committees met on June 17th, and we have 3 action items to bring before the board. Action item number 3, updating the RTA fare structure. RTA's fare structure is dated back to August 2009, and since that time, 3 promotional pilot passes have been introduced to our customers: the Day Pass, the Family Pass, and the Weekend Pass. These pass types have been well received by our customers to accommodate a variety of transportation needs. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees discussed this item on June 17, 2014, and support the staff recommendation to include these 3 pass types into the RTA fare structure, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and second that we update the RTA fare structure. Are there any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action item 3 has been approved, the updating of the RTA fare structure.
Action item number 4, student pass experiment, extending time restrictions for red and gray student monthly passes. RTA provides discounted student monthly passes to elementary through secondary students to facilitate access to and from school. The current red pass is valid on school days from 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., and the gray pass is valid from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. During Dayton Mayor Whaley's town hall meetings on education, a common concern surfaced regarding students involved in after-school activities and the need for transportation from the restricted hours of the RTA student monthly passes. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees discussed this item on June 17th and support the staff recommendation to extend the hours of the red student monthly pass to 7 p.m. and the hours of the gray student monthly pass to 5 p.m., and I so move.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. We approve action item 4, extending the time restrictions on the red and gray student monthly passes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action item 4 has been approved for extending the time restrictions on red and gray student monthly passes.
Okay, we have action item number 5, Dayton Bike Share Program, purchase of bikes, kiosks, and related items. The purpose of this procurement is to purchase bikes, kiosks, and related items for the implementation of a bike share program in Dayton. This program would be in collaboration between the RTA, Bike Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission, and the City of Dayton. Bike sharing is an emerging urban transportation option based on collective paid use of bikes available at distribution stations. The bike share concept began in Europe and is now being designed, applied, and researched in Northern American cities. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees discussed this item on June 17th and support the staff recommendation to purchase bikes, kiosks, and related items from B-Cycle LCC for a grand total of $1,036,040. 80% of this purchase will be supported with federal grant funds and the remaining 20% match from the City of Dayton, and I so move.
Second.
Been properly moved and seconded that we approve the purchase of bikes and related items for the bike share program. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll be riding bikes. Action item 5 has been approved. The Dayton Bike Share Program, purchase of bikes, kiosks, and related items. Do you have a report?
I sure do. Mr. Eckler also provided an update on planned activities for RTA shuttle services for Special Wish, the Dayton Air Show, and Wright-Patterson's Freedom's Call community event. Mr. Eckler also reported this year's RTA Cultural Works fundraising campaign generated $5,700, which was a 6% increase from last year's collection total. Ms. Pritchard of the Marketing Department also provided an update on recent RTA rewards signings and community outreach events, such as the I-70-75 Economic Development Summit, the Master My Craft event at Richard Allen School, and the Touch a Truck event in Kettering. And this concludes my report, Madam Chairman, and Frank Eckler and I would be available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions from her report? Okay. Now we'll move on to Executive Director's report.
Thank you very much. Just a few items to report. We had a busy weekend, you might imagine, with it being Air Show weekend. We had a combination of 3 events: the air show itself, a Special Wish program in which we take the kids from the Special Wish program on practice day, which is Friday, for a chance to watch the practice session. And they also get a chance to actually meet the pilots. The pilots typically come over and mix with the kids after the practice is over. And also Tattoo happened to be this weekend, so that was Friday night. So all told, we had about 5,000 additional trips taken on our buses over the past few days, and we got through that pretty well. It's always a great event. It's good to see that the air show attendance and our ridership is back on the upswing. We more than doubled last year's total. We're still a ways from maybe the peak years, but we're headed in the right direction, and I think the air show itself is too, so we're really happy about that. Really wanted to thank you for your support on both the school pass issue and the bike share arrangement. Those are 2 things I think that are going to be important activities for the coming year. We wanted to be responsive to the listening sessions that have been held around the city of Dayton regarding what are some of the needs that kids have to make their time in school more effective. And this experiment with the time extension is really a response to one of the most common themes, I understand, that every single one of the listening sessions that was held. So I think it's good for us to partner with the city, with Dayton Public and others to make sure that we remove any of the barriers that exist to these kids having a good school year this coming year. Bike share project, it's going to be an exciting thing. There's still some people scratching their heads about what are we doing involved in bikes. It's transportation, it's urban transportation, it's what we do, and we're really excited about it. So this is the big step. We had John Hoff of Frank's team was representing us just a few days ago in Akron, giving a presentation on how we're approaching bike share here in the Dayton region. So we're excited to be at this point in the process. The next phase will be critical. In the next 2 months, there'll be a lot of work behind the scenes on branding this bike share program and all of that. So really excited about that, and we'll continue to report back as we make progress. Also wanted to report that we have started the search for a new chief maintenance officer, and that's caused some internal changes here. We've already got a couple of resumes from people that heard pretty quickly that we had a vacancy. But in the interim, I sent you a memo about the interim changes we've made. It sounds like we're playing some musical chairs right now, but when you read through, why we made the changes that we did, I think they'll make a lot of sense to you. And we're pretty excited about kicking that off. There's probably still some confusion amongst the players in terms of, what phone they're on and what office they're in. But they're smart people, so I've deferred to them to work out all those details between themselves. Jim Napier, of course, took the right path. He took a week off. So he had a long planned vacation, so we honored that commitment for him, and we'll do that. But things are moving along pretty well. Gene's getting settled in. I don't see any grease in his fingernails yet. But I'm sure before it's over, he'll be under a bus finding out what it's like to live in the pits. Absolutely. So we do appreciate that, but that's moving forward. A couple board members are where I'm asking for an executive session to talk about a couple of I'll call them human resource issues at the moment. Dwight probably has better language for that coming back. And one last item I wanted to mention, it was a day of presentations, and I'm glad I opened my mail before I came up here a little bit ago, because we won an award. How about that? This is one that doesn't surprise me at all. It's the Ohio Auditor of State Award, presented to the Greater Dayton RTA for exemplary financial reporting in accordance with my favorite thing, the generally accepted accounting principles. Mary knows how much I enjoy those. So this is a testament to Mary and the entire finance team. This is not our first one of these, but we love getting them. So we just got this today. I wanted to make sure I teed that one up. And with that, that's all I have to report.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is old business. There being no old business, is there any new business? Okay. Next item is public comment. We have one public request form. Carla? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, caller Pittsinger. Would you please approach the mic? You have limited to 3 minutes. You need to give us your name, your address, the topic. When you state that, the green light will come on, which gives you 3 minutes. When you have 30 seconds left, the yellow light comes on, and when the red light comes on, your time to speak has expired. Okay.
All right. Well, my name's Carla Pitzinger. My address 3329 Shady View Road, Moraine, Ohio 45439. As you know, I'm with CAPS Education Advocate Committee, and we formed an RTA committee here this past February concerning all the snow and everything here this past year. I wasn't planning on speaking again, but I want to know our members, Mr. Abdullah Shakur. He's also a member of LEAD, L-E-A-D, which is a group of churches for economic development, I believe. Tiki Kai Crismano, she works at Nexus TV and also a member with Miami Valley Full Employment Council. Logan Martinez. And Michelle Joan is on the board with CAP here, and a lot of us are bus riders, so, but a lot of us can't make it, so, we do little things here and there, so I wanted to mention that. A lot of them can't make it, so sometimes I wish this board meeting was in the evening here. On that note, still working. Mr. Abdullah Shakur is wanting to work with Germantown, Gettysburg area about making more bus. I guess there's not very many benches on Germantown Street, and just making it a little bit more passenger friendly or rider friendly in those areas if possible. But I know Germantown and Gettysburg is a large area. One of the bus drivers on number 1 mentioned that he was helping this one lady with the bus pass because there's a green arrow, it has green edges, and he was suggesting if they could put a red arrow where you put in the card, how you put it in. So on that note, I emailed Mr. Howard Bard, so maybe Mr. Eckler could give you guys a copy of it sometime. And there's several other little things that Howard said to put what we call bullet points on. So I hope you receive that here this month. So thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. There being no other requests for public speakers, public comment, we now have a board member comments and announcements. I'll start down at this end. Mr. Williams?
No comment.
Likewise,
No comment.
Congratulations on a job well done.
no comment.
I have nothing.
Made it through that. Okay, at this time on the agenda, I would like a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Section 121.22, to discuss the discipline of a public employee.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and second that we go into executive session for the purpose stated. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Okay. Okay. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we are going to go into executive session. Will there be any action taken when we return?
I do not anticipate it.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a motion for us to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved and second that we come out of executive session. Would you call the roll, please? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Motion carried. We are out of executive session. We have reconvened to regular session. There is no other business to come before the board. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So motion.
Been properly moved and second that we adjourn the meeting. Can I do this with an aye, or we need a roll call?
That is fine.
All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? Meeting adjourned.